Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us once again here on a Sunday morning. As you know, it's our occasional habit of checking in with mayors around the Commonwealth and see what's happening at the city level. And this morning, we're joined by one of the state's more outspoken mayors, the mayor of the most densely populated city in Massachusetts, Mayor of Somerville, Joe Curtatone. Welcome, Mayor.
Morning, John. Thanks for having me on.
So, Somerville is not, or you pushed back phase 3 reopening until early August, even as most cities have forged ahead with indoor dining, reopening gyms and other businesses. Why did you do that?
Well, for a couple of reasons. And first, to clarify, there are some small parts of phase 3 which we have allowed to move forward. However, the crux of it, and those activities around the economy that involve indoor activities, which usually are accompanied by high levels of risk of transmission of the virus from one person to another, like gyms and fitness centers and entertainment, theater venues, we have not allowed. And we did so, again, because we've taken the same approach that we did phases 1 and 2. It is a deliberate approach informed by science and data. We're doing our due diligence to ascertain that whatever we do, that two goals are met. One, to ensure the public health and safety and well-being of everyone in our community, and also to make sure that in any reopening, that it is sustainable. And as we move forward, and as we have been moving forward, we have to commend the governor, his administration, the Commonwealth, everybody out there has done their part to flatten the curve. But there are lessons to be learned, and there's data that we should be keenly looking at. One, there's been a slight uptick in cases in parts of the Commonwealth. In Somerville, I mentioned the last week and a half, previous week, we had an uptick of about 16 cases, and that hadn't happened in a few weeks. In California, where they were 4 to 5 weeks ahead of us here in the Commonwealth of flattening out the curve and reopening the economy, we just saw last week, Governor Gavin Newsom roll back those opening measures in about 30 counties. And we know the rest of the country right now is on fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Massachusetts, people have come back from Florida. They're over the winter. We have college students to come. Our concern is, no, we're not prepared for the resurgence, not when we don't have contact tracing where it should be, testing up to the levels that needs to be to gauge and respond to any outbreaks, and a time how to open our schools.
Okay, Mayor, but there are other densely populated cities in our Commonwealth, a place where many of the same principles you outlined, reliance on data, attention to what's happening, are being practiced, and they're forging ahead. Why not Somerville?
Well, I can speak to us, and while I respect the leaders of other communities, our approach for us has worked. Somerville's transmission rate is one of the lowest, if not the lowest in the state. However, I want to be clear. We lost 34 people who are loved and part of our community to COVID-19. And Massachusetts has lost more than 8,000 people, and we're over 142,000 nationally. This virus is still with us. It's going to continue to be with us. People are going to continue to become ill, and they're going to continue to die. The question we should ask ourselves as a society, are we willing to accept that loss? Are we willing to accept blood in exchange for $1? There can be no sustainable recovery of our economy without a healthy society. I have a responsibility, we all do as leaders, to make sure the policies we enact don't contribute to the resurgence. And all the experts have told us and informed us that we are going to get hit by the next phase, the second wave. The question is, will it be as bad as the first surge or worse, which will be crippling to us in life and economically? We need to take steps to prepare for that. And my criticism of moving on some of these aspects of phase 3 is that we haven't put, for example, schools at the center of one of our nearest goals.
Right.
Everything we can to open up schools to get those families back to work to really bolster our economy.
I want to talk to you in greater length about schools and colleges. Why don't we do that after we take our break as we continue our conversation with the mayor